Morning guys, what's going on? My name is Alex Cedillo with MrDeedsBuysHouses.com. Welcome to another week of content, help you kind of in your DIY of your mortgages and what you're dealing with right now, maybe with the COVID and everything that's going on, maybe a job loss and you're having to reset and everything else. So we're going to talk today about mortgages and basically the difference of where everybody's getting this forbearance thing. There's a lot of people across the nation that you have a house and you maybe work with your bank, whether it's Chase, B of A, whoever that might be, and you're doing a forbearance. So I want you guys to understand what the differences is and what you're up against when that comes up. Every bank is different in how they do it. However, let me explain to you. Forbearance versus a deferment. Nobody really mentions anything about a deferment. If you really pay attention to your paperwork when you're going through that process, maybe you're already there. You can contact your bank and tell them what's the difference. Look at your paperwork. You should have something via email, via letters that they sent you, and it'll explain the details to you about your forbearance program and what that plan of action is. The whole point of a forbearance, especially in today's market, is because you might have a financial setback, job loss, whatever the case is. Maybe still out of a job, unfortunately. So they'll give you where you don't have to make your payments or skip your payments, postpone your payments for 1, 2, 3 months. Maybe currently right now where we're under the COVID situation, it's 12 months. You need to keep in mind, you guys need to be aware of what happens when you're in a forbearance versus a deferment. A forbearance basically is, as an example, if you do let's say you got 3 months behind, you're gonna go ahead and skip 3 payments, and then what they're gonna do on the forbearance is, at the end of that, you will have to pay, let's say your payments are $1,000 a month, okay? And what you basically do at the end of that term or whatever the case is on your forbearance agreement, if it's 3 months, it's $3,000. Plus that month, you're gonna owe $4,000. So imagine you doing this forbearance for a 12-month program. You got $12,000 that you are due during that month, plus your $1,000. So that's $13,000 you'll have to come out of pocket and pay that to bring it current. The pro is that it'll help you through your process, but then a lot of people cannot, if they're not working, whatever the case is, they might not have this money ready to make that payment all at one time and bring it current. On the front end, the good thing is that this will help you with your credit so it doesn't damage your credit. However, if you're already late and then you started the forbearance, they're already docking you for your lates, so it will affect your credit. So this is kind of what you're up against, and this is what you need to worry about, that you're going to go through your eviction process for an auction foreclosure. So this will happen, and then they're just basically going to go ahead and proceed with the auction to go ahead and take the property back. If you do a deferment, the difference in the deferment and the forbearance is basically you have to bring all that payment current plus the next payment. On a deferment, same thing as in this example, if it's $1,000, basically, let's say it's 12 months. Same example, because this is kind of what everybody's dealing with, right? So it's 12 months, $12,000. What happens, and let's say you got a 30-year mortgage. Let's say you're 15 years left on the note, on your mortgage, 15 years left. Well, what happens is that $1,000 times your 12 months, right? It's $12,000. What they do is they'll put this payment in the arrears of your note. So meaning if you have 15 years left on your payment, you just added 1 year's worth of payments, 12 months have been added. So now you have to pay the 15, basically 16 years left. It's not bad, This is more helpful to you than the forbearance program, depending on how their documentation is read. On the deferment, if you do this, this will help you. The only problem is this is very detrimental to your financial. It'll help you now, but in this particular case, you're paying interest on top of interest. So imagine you buying a house, what does it cost? And it's on a 30-year plan. You know that all your payments, when your first $1,000 of payment, your first month payment is probably $20 that got applied to your month, to your mortgage. So you're paying all interest up front. So this is kind of the point of it, is to help you understand that all that interest, and if this happens, now you're paying interest because of the mortgage due. No, you're having to pay interest on top of that interest as well. So be aware of your notes, look at your information, and look and see what you actually have, so that way you know how to deal with this. Depending on what state you're in, depending on what county you're in, will help you look at your stuff, and then you can look at your bank. But anyway, so this will help you out in understanding what you're gonna be due at the end of this process. If you're currently under a restriction in the county and they're still postponing your evictions or the auctions, you're still gonna have to deal with this one way or the other. You're just gonna have to know what that number looks like and what that payoff is gonna be. There are alternatives to helping you out of this situation, and that's going back to the bank and trying to work out a process. If you got a job and you're back current, maybe you can sit there and renegotiate your program to be a forbearance, to change to a deferment, which is basically doing what's called a loan modification. If you're working and you're able to pay, they might ask you for a small amount of money to make good on it, and then they'll prove that you can make those payments, and they'll make that loan modification for you, and then you'll be able to keep your house. So this is a good way to help you keep your house if you want to continue to stay in there. You gotta have a job and you gotta be making income for a loan modification to work. They will decline you and they're gonna get you out eventually, so it doesn't matter. If you decide that you just wanna move forward, and let's say you have a house like this, you have some equity, you wanna try to extract your equity and move forward on with your life, try to salvage and save your credit from a foreclosure. That way it's not painful for the remainder of, 15, 20 years, whatever that's gonna be, because once you fall behind so far, very, very, very difficult to get back up on, especially from a foreclosure. What you wanna do is you wanna try and sell the house if that's the case. Outside of that, basically, a lot of times we actually do what we call takeover payments, and we'll give people some cash for the difference of what their equity is to help them out, or we'll do a cash transaction and actually cash them out completely and buy the note, the house as is, where it is, any situation, any location, it doesn't really matter. It's free, it's no obligation. Feel free to give us a call. If you need any help, even if it's just, how do I do this, or some information, feel free to give us a call. There's no charge on that. We're here to help out the community. Everybody's in a lot of challenges and stuff, and I've been fortunate to be in this business for over 22 years and help a lot of people out, and that's kind of the name of the game. If you know somebody in a situation like this, definitely share the video with them, and maybe it'll benefit them, help them out of a situation where they can keep their house and move forward. So if you guys have any other questions, don't hesitate to chime in. Like us, follow us, share us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and apparently now TikTok. And it's MrDeedsBuysHouses.com or Mr. Deeds Buys Houses. So if you have any questions, let us know how we can help you out. Again, thank you so much. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys showing up, sharing our information, and you guys have a great day.